Greetings and a warm welcome to everyone from the Enkido training team. We are delighted to have you with us for today's webinar on petroleum engineers' roles and responsibilities. I am Mohammed and I will be your host for this session. The webinar will be presented by our speaker, Mr. Mohammed Al-Jawhar. Mr. Mohammed Al-Jawhar is a senior petroleum engineer with proven expertise in petroleum engineering and production management. He has strong abilities in strategic planning, process optimization, and risk mitigation. He is responsible for preparing and reviewing job initiation documents to support efficient operations and is well versed in engineering standards and production procedures. Mr. Al Jawha is also an effective communicator with a demonstrated ability to enhance collaboration across teams and lead with impact. Before we begin, please take a moment to note the following important information. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to submit them through the Q&A box. We will address all questions during the dedicated Q&A segment at the end of the webinar. Please be informed that this session is being recorded. Throughout the presentation, relevant links to Enkido training platforms, including Udemy, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube, will be shared in the chat box. A link to the attendees registration form will be provided before the session concludes. Certificates of participation will be issued through the Enkido page on the Udemy platform. Now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Mohammed Al Jawha. Mr. Mohammed, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Doctor, and thanks again for Enkido Training for this opportunity for this new webinar series, let's say. And thanks for everyone taking time to come to this webinar, to attend this webinar. So hopefully to get interested by this free webinar with the subject petroleum engineers roles and responsibilities. So why we would like to talk about petroleum engineers roles and responsibilities. We will all know when the new graduate petroleum engineers just joining the industry, oil and gas industry, there is a different types of roles and responsibilities according to them, facing new challenges in this industry. It's a huge industry, so we would like to have a look at what they will face and what is the challenges, what is the roles, what are these responsibilities according to. It's connected to their roles, new roles. So what they need to establish in their work and what is the tools they need to have, what they have to think about, etc. So hopefully to enjoy this webinar. So let's start with roles and responsibilities for junior engineers. So we all know petroleum engineering. What is petroleum engineering? So in short, brief, petroleum engineering, it's involve all the exploration, extraction, and production operations. So through these, let's say, operations, starting from the ground to the exporting oil through the ports, there's a lot of things have to be done, and there's a lot of data have to be collected. There is a lot of process and procedure standards applied to in this discipline. So why we need to know about these things? It's very important because when you graduate from this department, petroleum engineer, I mean, you will go through any company. So what you will be involved in. So you have to think about what is the roles you have to be played in that role and in that company. What is your role will be exactly. So what's the background you came from? What is your have been educated for? And what is the academic things in terms of what you learned from the university, what you have to be applied through in this new role in the company. So yes, what is petroleum engineering? Petroleum engineering involves all the exploration, extraction, and production for oil and gas from the ground to the surface, and then exporting to the markets around the globe. So it's what's discipline involved in these process and procedures and operations, multiple, let's say, discipline from geology, drilling, reservoir, production, etc., and will be involved. So let's have a look, starting from why it's important, why petroleum engineering is important, and what the importance of the petroleum engineers. So they play, of course, a crucial role in the energy production, as we said, starting from exploration through extraction to the production and then exporting to the globe markets. They ensure, of course, the petroleum engineers, the efficient and safe extraction of these the fossil, the oil and gas from the ground, from the reservoirs. So they be sure that operation goes smoothly without any risks of and hazards, because you know there is a lot of you are dealing with these risks and hazards. So it's a vital for global energy supply, of course. The petroleum engineers. So it's very important roles they play in the industry. Especially we are talking today about oil and gas industry. So okay, so roles of junior engineers. So we know as you join this industry, there is a lot of things you have to think about and you will face in this industry. Most of the cases you will be directed by senior engineers because you just have joined this industry, so you know a lot of things. So you need to be supporting the juniors in their work and doing your rules exactly what they are suggested. So for instance, let's say let's have a look at this illustration where we can see this gentleman here standing against this valve and trying to open or close this valve. So what we can expect from this illustration, this new maybe an engineer, petroleum engineer trying to open or close this valve, but what's the type of the valve? Where is it standing? What is the purpose? What he can face? It's look like it's in the day, and it's look like summer maybe, or maybe winter. What is the process he need to follow? What is the safety procedures he need to take care of? So it's name many things he has to think about, not just standing in front of this valve and trying to open it. So for instance, does this gentleman, the PE, the new PE, or maybe he's a senior on operation, technician, does he wearing all the needed PPE to work in the field? So this one of the question. So the petroleum engineers, the junior petroleum engineers, will involve if actually in the different types of tasks per day. For instance, if he working in the field of even at the office, so there's different types and of responsibilities and tasks he will involve, of course. So we will discuss that later today. another slide. So, for instance, let's say there is data analysis, field operations, project planning, all these various tasks. Maybe will be involved as a junior petroleum engineer. So, not just in working in the field, even in the office. So, there are different types of roles with the juniors and engineers will play in the oil and gas industry. So let's continue what we have. So roles and responsibilities. Let's take starting from exploration activities. So junior engineers assist in geological surveys and the analysis of subsurface formation to identify potential drilling sites. So from this type of activities, from this type of roles, the junior engineers assist in geological. So they will involve directly in geological surveys and the analysis of these geological surveys and what the formation have, where the reserve is, so how they can be identify potential drilling sites. So when you need to install any drilling rig, where it should be located and why it's located here, why starting drilling in this site. So what's the criteria, what's the information he got to establish the drilling rig at this site. So what's the criteria behind selecting this specifically this location. So why and what is the formation targeted according to? This information it should be to identify the drilling site. So many things he has to think about, but this is all related to not disclosed to the exploration activities. Drilling operation. Okay, so we select the drilling site. We know exactly where our reservoir move to drilling operation. So through installing our drilling rig to the day of finish of everything, and the rig will move to another location. So there is a drilling operation. They participate in planning, overseeing drilling activities, ensuring compliance. So ensuring compliance is very important. Ensuring compliance. So you have to think, oh, what do we need to follow? What do you mean by compliance? So what is that type? Is that related to our rules here in drilling operations? Yes, of course, definitely. It should be you ensuring compliance with what? Technical and safety standards. So compliance mean to follow the technical and safety standards. Otherwise, we've seen a lot of problems happened because not they comply to the technical and safety standards. So there is a lot of risk associated if you have not following everything in terms of the safety and technical. So for instance, if you drill fast or drill slow, if you adding some additives, if you didn't checked what is the return for the from the formation when you are drilling inside the formation to the targeted reservoir. So every single data is very important, crucial to the drilling engineers and everyone there in their daily operation. So production optimization, you drill your well and it's connected, and then you need to produce. So production optimization, so it's involved in monitoring and optimizing production processes. Is very important. It's very important. You have to monitor, and for what? For optimizing production process. What is the target? To maximize resource and recovery and minimize operation costs. Why you drill this well here? So what's the purpose? What do you aim to? You aim to maximize resources and minimize the operation costs, of course. So how you can do that? Through doing optimization and in term for your production processes. So what is the production optimization rules suggest? Involving in monitoring, not just doing the optimization. You need to monitor, then you do your optimization process. So it's one by one. So I have to think logically why I'm here, what I should do, and what is the target, what is the aim, what is the vision of this role. So let's move on to another one. as an example, data collection. So you can see it's here data collection. Junior engineers gather and manage data from various sources. We have a lot of sources to be for information. For instance, the drilling site. What is the geological area? What is the reserve formation we've got in terms of the volume of the reserve? What is the type of the formation, how deep will be drilling our well, where is it located, what is the production target, etc. PVT for the formation. So what is the data collection will be? So it will be gathering and manage, not just gathering, manage data from various resources. So these various resources need to be collected and managed carefully because you need to handle this to another team, so including drilling logs, production reports, and geological survey. So this type of role they played those engineers, data engineers. They not just collect the data; it's collected from various sources, and it's included, not limited to drilling logs, production reports, and geological survey. So you have to think about what you are going to collect and why and where your data will be delivered. So it's very important and crucial role. Otherwise, if you put something wrong, what is the results? Wrong, of course. When you have to think about like this, you can imagine what you are doing and put your data through your laptop, so what you will see on the screen. So if you typing any rubbish numbers and letters, so you will see a screen showing you rubbish numbers and letters. So what you will understand? Nothing. What's the result? Zero. Nothing. So data collection is very important. It's very crucial role. So, and then we will move to data interpretation. Okay, this is a very important part. We have collected our data from the data engineers. They giving us the drilling logs, what they have from the drilling logs, what the drilling logs suggest, and production reports and geological surveys, and then there another process. There another thing you have to do to understand these data. What is it? It's data interpretation. So what the data interpretation engineers do, they analyze and interpret data to identify trends. Oh, this is the important part. They need to identify what is the trends. What does that mean? So if it's go high, it's going very slowly, it's going rapidly high, it's going rapidly low, downwards, it's upwards, is it stable? So for instance, let's take this example. Most of the cases when you have not most of the cases, but all the cases when you have to develop any plan for a field, you have to think about the plateau rate. What's the plateau rate? It's the from the beginning to not from the beginning, let's say from the day 10 to the day after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we need the production is stable and flat. So this is called a plateau rate. So okay, this is the undefined trend. Is it plateau rate? Do we reach the plateau rate? When it started, how long it should be take to then we can see there is a decline in our production from our reservoir or from our wells. So there okay. So why we need to understand, because there are anomalies. So what does that mean? We can say sometimes it's going rapidly high and then stable, but not take long as we expect. And there's something happened and downwards go to downwards very high, very in speed. I mean, very fast, declining. So why we have like this declining in our production rate? What happened? So there is something abnormal happened to your trends. So how it will be identified through the data interpretation engineer. So there's trends and there's anomalies. And then what we can suggest and what those engineers can suggest potential issues. There's issues regarding these trends and anomalies, providing insights. So this is the crucial part, and we need to highlight here is uh, there is providing insights for decision making. So the insight they provide, it's connected to decision making. So every trend you identify, every anomalies in these trends going to potential issue, and then going to through providing insights, and then going to take a decision. What is the decision? It will be, of course, it depends on the situation. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is, as we suggest, is it something we need to deal with? Where the problem is? So it depends on the data interpret. It's so what I suggest, I'd like to mention here, the data interpretation engineers, they play again a most important part here of what's the data we collected here and deliver to them, how they can interpret well, and it depends on their experience. It depends on what's the data included. It depends on what they got in terms of tools to interpret these data. What is the criteria they follow, standards, etc. So you need to think about like these things. So let's move with the reporting and documentation. So after the collection, interpretation, then the part of reporting and documentation, where how you can report these data, what's the formats you have to follow. So responsible for preparing reports and presentations. So I need to present these data to our manager, the top management. So is it properly is it I mean the proper way to present these data through papers? Do I need to put these data onto papers, on screens? Where how I can share the I mean my presentation? What's the material and softwares I need to do for my presentation? How I can present these data? What is the type of graphs? I mean, so for instance, do we need using like these trends, or we do we need to use the bars? Is it a bubble map? Is it another type of pie chart, let for instance? So it's then it's how you can present your data and deliver the message and that data to your top managers and the other parties in the organization and the company. So summarize findings is very important, and recommended actions based on the data analysis. So it's how do you can finalize your work by reporting and documentation through your presentation, and the findings will be in your presentation. Let's move to another thing, safety protocols. You know, in oil and gas industry, there is a lot of risk and hazards each day you face. Even when you sit in your on your chair in the office, so there is a risk for yourself, for instance. So let's take this example, if you can imagine that. So when you sit for 1 to 3 hours without moving, so you're hurting yourself, hurting your hand, you're hurting your nerves and your eyes. So there's a you're reaching the fatigue situation, and then you cannot focusing on your work. So you are not taking any rest, and then we can imagine maybe there's, because if this is the stress of the work, taking a wrong action and decision making, it's not clearly enough to other parties, then there's a disaster happen. So from small parts to the big picture. So how you can think about it, it's safety protocol. So maybe it's not just started from the field itself, where a lot of hazards and risks are there. Maybe it's starting from your office, from your place when you are doing your work. So junior engineers must understand. So understand what the risk are. So you need to understand your risk even in your place, and then adhere to the safety protocols. Otherwise, there's something will happen. Definitely, something will happen. So, for instance, I've been taught from the physical therapy when they moved, and he told me you have to sit like this in the situation, and you move your eyes every 20 minutes away from your screen. Otherwise, you are less focusing. So, for instance, if you typing a number and this number is not correct and sending emails, you can imagine if that's a very important number and you send a wrong number, you are thinking, okay, everything was perfectly done and nice and sweet, and then you can just click and put a wrong number and send it, and the other people in the field taking seriously this number and apply it in the field, and you can imagine what will happen. So it's not you need to understand the risks and adhere to the safety protocols. Why? To ensure safe operations in field office. So we back to office. It's not only field, it's office as well. So because you are the decision maker, well, you are sitting in front of your screen. So you are sitting. You need to be in most comfortable way with and you following these safety protocols. So you have to understand and adhere to the safety protocols. Environmental regulation. Most of the countries, there is a lot of companies working in globe, so they have to follow the environmental regulation they applied by the governments, by the companies. So and as you working in these companies and that company, so what's the environmental regulation in that company you need to follow? What's the environmental regulation and that country you need to follow and think about? So they need to be knowledgeable about environmental regulation. So you have to think, okay, I'm working now in this country, and this country suggests I cannot um, for instance, spilling any oil on the ground because it will be polluted. This pollution, the health, the environment around me. There is a lot of birds, etc. People maybe that spill oil spill will hurt them if it goes to the rivers, etc. So you have to think about what's the environmental regulation they applied in these countries and ensure compliance during all phases. So it's not one, it's all phases, exploration to production. So it's exploration, it's going this way. It cannot be this way because you start from this part, I'm going to this part. So from exploration to production you have to adhere to all the things related to the exploration and all other things related to the production and in between. So you have to ensure compliance during all phases with about environmentally regulation. So we are talking now about the environmental regulations and what are they and why we need to think about the environmental regulation in the company itself or in the location. So it doesn't matter where is it located, but definitely there's some standards you have to follow regarding that. Incident response. So we've been trained, for instance, for myself, trained for incident response. So how you can respond to the incident? There's some rules in and guidance the companies put and cleared and educated for the all their staff. I mean, if they are technicians, the workers, the engineers, anyone working there, administration. So there's incident response. So any type of hazards, risks, there's immediate actions have to be taken, and there is immediate responses. So, for instance, gathering in the emergency spots. There's spots suggested by the company. So in time of there's an earthquake, any happened inside the field, inside the office, all the employees have to be gathered in that spot to be evacuated, and that's the safety spot studied very well from the HSC engineers. They suggest this is the safest place in the area, so all the employees can be gathered there and be safe from any hazards in that part. So it's involved in preparing and implementing emergency response plans. So maybe you are the one who's implementing and putting the response plan. So what is your response plan be for emergencies? So handle potential incidents effectively. So this is the message you need to deliver. You are going to handle potential incidents effectively. Otherwise, if it's not effectively, maybe some people will lose their lives. Maybe there is a lot of injuries, and maybe there's a lot of problems happened and cannot be controlled. Let's move with the other equipment maintenance. Junior engineer assist in the maintenance and repair. If you are responsible to repair for instance, this facility, the gassing, the well, the pipelines, your computer. So you have to assist in maintenance and repair of maybe drilling and production equipment to ensure operational efficiency. Technology implementation. Sometimes and most of the cases, we are now, you can see the technology is going very fast in terms of new innovations. So you have to think about they help implementing new technologies and methodologies to improve extraction and production processes. So the new technologies, you have to think what I'm going to use, what the tools nowadays in my role is it helpful for me and harmful for me to know what they are and how I can manage them, how can I use them in terms of improve the extraction, for instance, and production process? Yes, of course. Then definitely you have to think how these technologies have to be implemented and followed. Okay. What's the other thing? Performance monitoring. We done all these parts. We do them, for instance, starting from the data, tell to the technology implementation. We need to follow what is the performance in terms of performance. Is it involved in monitoring the performance of equipment? And it's I can't it's not only equipment. I can say people here. So it's not only the performance of the equipment itself, but the performance of the people. Do I need to upgrade their skills? Do they have a lack of any skills? I need it in if I'm the top management to implement the right technology to identify and resolve issues promptly. So not only the equipment, it's doing good. The people as well, it should be doing good. So what I mean by people, you the people, you the I mean the engineers, the new engineers. So as you new in this area, so you have a lot of things you need to think about if you are working offshore, onshore, any place. So implementing the technology and doing another type of roles. there is a performance monitoring. So it's involved monitoring the performance of this platform, for instance. Is it for any software used? What the equipment is doing in terms of, I mean, the equipment facilities, wells, etc. So I need to monitor their things perfectly. So let's go and take this example and see. This is it will explain what is the rules and what is the responsibilities. So the rules here is the gassing station engineer. Okay, so this is the rule. You are a new engineer. We are assign you to be the gassing station engineer. That's it? No, not that's it. So you have to think in which department? What is your responsibility? You are individual team contributor. So what is the role suggest? As the gassing station engineer, you will be responsible for what? Will be responsible for understanding your degassing. So you have to be responsible for a degassing because you are a degassing station engineer, and then you have to be understand your degassing, wells, facilities, pipelines, water injection. What be the key point of contact? Who will contact you, and who you will contact for anything to do with your wells, your degassing, your facilities, pipelines. You will monitor your well's performance and make optimization recommendation because you are the degassing station engineer. So you have to follow the and track the well performance and make optimization recommendation because you are responsible for these wells. Track well activity. So what do I need to do these things perfectly? Field data. I need a field data because otherwise, if I don't have these data, I cannot implement my work very well. So daily track the upstream pressures, flag sees wells, flag well coming back. Some wells is seized, and then because it seized, maybe I can put it online again because I'm doing the optimization recommendation. Okay, so what is the pressures in the degassing itself? Do I need to flag any changes in the pressures regime for the wells for the degassing? Track well surveillance. I have to do maybe PLT production logging test. I need to do a well test for my wells. Why? I need to because I can go back and because I need to monitor the well performance. So you can see everything is connected to other. So if I need to do any surveillance because there is a weakness point in term of one of the wells performance. So maintain. Okay, so what else? I need to do a check sheet for managing pressures. Water cut sampling. Is it corrected dates and cycles of getting these samples in accurate date for accuracy and help me identifying the well performance. Sometimes there's a water cut is very high, and then it's make difficulties for running the well smoothly. So it becomes seized. So what's the seized well database? Do I have it or not? So do I need to do any into lift campaign or not? Because already I lost some wells because the high water cut. Daily production graphs. So I need to do the graphs and run and do my calculation according to these drawings. So up to date drawings, it should be under my hand because if otherwise I can maybe miss some new perforation in my well. So I don't know where it's perforated. So how can I know this is the exact right because I need to do the run my software simulation and do the again wells performance. So if it's perforated, I have extra perforation. I didn't manage to do the check sheets and the database for the new wells and daily production, etc. So I cannot not managing my data perfectly. So and accurately, so I missed some valuable information regarding the web performance. So there's understanding of the and miss potential of the well performance. So communication and contacts to the degassing. So this most very important part I will focus in on, and multiple of circles around communication. You have to think about your communication. So you have need to build your communication skills, and with whom, your parties, your colleagues, your managers, where you are, what's the responsibility. You are an individual team contributor, so you have to think about what is you are going to talk, what is your group, so what's the people you are connected to, from which departments. So communication is very important part here, a crucial role, I always say, a crucial skill, let's say, here for the degassing new not degassing, sorry, for the new engineers. So all these you have to think about, and not finally make recommendation, because you do the well performance, and because of the well performance, so you have make recommendation for new wellhead pressure, for instance. You need new samples for BSW, sediments and water cut, etc. And then you can present your data to the involved parties. So another example in detail, for instance, well status reporting. The well engineer should define the reporting requirements and to whom for the well status. So well activities reporting the key in the performance indicator, any events need, for instance, for well integrity. If there's any incidents, investigation report, what's the operating envelope for the wells, and what's the if you are connected to the government and you need to highlight some issues regarding some pollution, etc., for the for the government and regulation. So let's move on with career development. So what do you need? What is the tool you need? And we have to think about if you just join your or you need you are going to join this industry, I mean oil and gas. Professional development. So engaging in ongoing professional development through courses, certification, workshops. Why? It's to be updated always. You stay updated with the industry advancements. So you are just graduate does not mean you are finished. So everything well done. Oh, thank you very much. No, because you know there is new technologies. You always there are new tools, new softwares, new even rules. Because for instance, nowadays. Internet of Things, AI, AOT, and machine learning. So it's involved heavily in the industry. So what are they? Where's I can see them? What is their implementation? So the courses, certification, and these workshop keep you updated with the industry advancements. Okay, advanced degrees. Maybe you are just graduated, but you're not now thinking about doctorate degree. So going up for specialized training and degrees in certain topic inside the industry. So you need to enhance your expertise and career prospects. For instance, some people thinking, okay, I'm now finished the BSc, I'm going to take the MSc and then PhD. Oh, why not? If that will help you being specialized in something, it's rarely in the market. I mean, in the oil and gas industry market, and you can. It will be perfect for you if you think about the advanced degrees. What the other thing, industry conferences. It's very helpful because attending even online, for instance, you can see everything new in the market. So many companies attending there, and you can have a good network and see what is the invention and interventions. Inventions, I mean the tech, in terms of technology, new technologies applied in the industry. So industry conferences, it's most of the cases, many cases, Not most of them, but you can even watch the recorded if you cannot attend in person or online because there's some cost regarding that. So if you can afford it, so it's worth to attend these conferences. Believe me, it's worth to attend because you will gain extra knowledge from these conferences. And of course, building network with professionals. Okay, so let's continue with career development. So what we will need in term of what we will face in terms of the challenges in the uh, industry. So finding mentors. So let's take this. So mentorship is the art of creating and nurturing leaders for tomorrow. So it's this person trying to help you going up to the top of the hill, to the top of the industry. So he will definitely being there before you and know how to find the fast track and where's the obstacles, and of course you will see these obstacles through your work, and these mentors can help you, Alec, because seeking out experienced professionals who can providing guidance. So that's what you need, guidance and advices and support in your career development. So they will help you definitely, and if you find them in your work or before you're joining any work you think about. So think about finding mentors. Those mentors can help you to provide a guidance and advices for how to develop yourself, how you can manage the things in terms of technology, new technology, new skills you need in market of oil and gas industry. Okay, building a network. So you are not alone. So there is a lot of people in this environment. I mean, oil and gas industry. So you need to know your peers. How you can actively networking with peers, so colleagues and industry professionals. It's building these through the building network, so you can open up career opportunities. So you can maybe you are not thinking for building this network for a career because you thought you okay, I'm going to apply through this website for this company, but in term of networking, so maybe this new guy you just met through in the conference, in other places, in the through the online, for instance from in LinkedIn, for instance, this place where you have many professionals in the oil and gas industry. So maybe they introduce you to the company they working in. So there's a new opportunity for you to going fast and having that your dream job. Okay, professional organization. Of course, for instance, we have there's a lot of organization in the oil and gas industry. For instance, the most and famous one, the SPE, so the American Society for Petroleum Engineers. You can join it, and you have a lot of conferences, peers, networks. You can have a lot of free webinars, papers, information for everything in the oil and gas industry. So it's joining these professional organizations to stay connected with the industry and access resources for your career growth. Challenges. What are the challenges? I mean, resources depletion. So the oil depleted, so it's not stay as it's from the day one of production. So what is the opportunity? The challenges you have to think about the decreasing reserves of easily accessible to hardly accessible. So in terms of initiate exploration in more challenging environments, heavy oils. What is the new technologies implemented to extract these heavy oils? Some oils stay in the ground. So what's the proper methods to extract that oil from the ground? how you can manage production. So there's a lot of resource depletion you are going to face. So how you can manage them, because when the field of measure and it's in green, it's not like it's going old and a lot less results available. So how you can manage that? Technological advancement. Technological advancement, keeping up with the rapid technology. We already mentioned that. So you have to think about these new technologies, how you can manage them, and be aware of them. So, for instance, I will be a drilling engineer. So, what is the new drilling tools? What is the new technologies implemented in terms of drilling well, oil, gas well? What is the environment? What is the type of reservoir are going to drill this well in? So what is the depth, etc. So the type of the drilling rig, the tools will be used, everything related to your dream job. So you need to prepare yourself if you are not getting your that job, or you are in the roles of drilling engineer, being a drilling engineer. So you have to think about in knowledge yourself, upskill your skills to the top level, to be aware of everything. Otherwise, we will see you have challenges in understanding let's say dumps in the head in your front. So regulatory compliances, you have to be complied with all the complexes and evolving regulations poses significant challenges for petroleum engineers. So you have to think about it. It's always there's a regulation and laws by the company and policies, and there is a always there is regulation from the country you are working in. So you have to think about it. What it's most poses significant challenges in terms of reducing, for instance, reducing the emission of carbon in the air, or how you can capture that carbon, or any gases released to the air. So you have to think of all of it in terms of polluting your environment and compliance with the regulation. Okay, moving forward, another challenges, environmental impact. We just mentioned that there's impact from releasing any gases to the environment. So what you have to understand, how I can mitigate and reduce that risks, and keeping my environment clean. So we know extraction and oil and gas from the reservoir. There is a lot of things related to, and it should be clean. So how we can keep it clean without any crucial events. For instance, if there's any unwanted problem happened and accidents, and then we have massive impact on the environment. Sustainability, so you need to make it that happened for a long time. So this is sustainability. So it is promoting sustainable practices to balance resource extraction with environmental preservation. So you don't need to harm for the environment, but keep it safe, and at the same time it's keeping the resources extracted with balance with the environment, and not hurting the environment, and not keeping your profit, and for instance for the companies and for the governments going on. Ethical practices. Adhering to ethical standards in all operation, ensuring transparency and accountability. So you have for maybe you think about for any harassments, saying bad words, being involved in the politics, religion issues inside your company. So it's not it will be hurting your reputation inside the company. So it will hurting the company itself reputation. So it's there's certain ethical practices you need to aware of. be aware of and follow. Otherwise, the HR will say you have exceeding the limits, and there's some issues regarding that. So we'll tell you, for instance, you cannot, for instance, sending and giving your the company data to other parties. This is one of the examples. So a lot of examples in terms of ethical practices you have to be adhere and aware of in the industry and for your company. Work schedules, you have always to be there and on time. So managing demanding work schedules, especially during field operations, to avoid burnouts. So we have so there are a lot of examples of some people not cannot managing their work schedules effectively. Then there is a lot of problems happened and delayed in the work schedules regarding that. Personal time, I highlight this. You can see it's bold. So ensuring adequate personal time to maintain physical and mental well-being. It's very important to you to balance between the work and your personal life. So take your time, relax. Otherwise, you will be stressed and you cannot focus. And then you have take the wrong decision, maybe that affecting your work environment and affecting your work life, and then maybe you can see yourself fired because you did take a couple of series of wrong decision according that. So take your time and maintain physical and mental well-being. So take your rest, and when you can take it. So it's very important to balance in between the work and personal life. Support systems. So support systems such as family, friends, professional to balance work and personal. So it's connected to personal time. So yeah, so this is the a good example of for that. Career development. So we say you can check for mentors, but of course, highlighted the importance of continuing education, mentorship, and network for career advancement. So you have to when you join any company, so there is a you have to build your plan for career development. So you cannot stay in the same position for many years. You have to think about how you can gradually going up and taking being a team lead, being a manager and top management, etc. So it's career development. So how you can manage that effectively and probably through your way to in the work. I mean, so you need to highlight the importance of continuing education. Maybe you need mentorship, guide you, give you advice. You need a coach. Networking, which networking I need, which professional I need to be network with to make that happen. I mean, the goal of career development. So I need to develop myself to reach what I would like to have. I think we reached the end of our webinar today. Hopefully, you get useful information. It will be light, not less technical, but highlighted some issues regarding your work environment, your perspective of your career, and your roles and responsibilities, how you can distinguish between roles and responsibilities. What do you need to think about all of these things? It's highlighted today, so hopefully you enjoyed it.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, thank you for your presentation on petroleum engineers' roles and responsibilities. Please let's review the questions and answer them.
Okay. Um, Junior Yani, what are the qualities of a good junior engineer in his first year of internship? Internship. Um, Even it's internship or first year on the work. So you need to be aware of everything. You have to be take attention to everything in your internship year. So in this year, it's not real work. So many I've so many new engineers, new graduate engineers, they just have let's say sit aside and enjoy the atmosphere of the company, drinking coffee, and that's it. So they not learning the right job. They're not asking too much questions. What is this? What is that? And why is this? And why is that? You have to build a new and wide imagination image of what is the you are going to work. So, for instance, you would like to work in wells department, you would like to production department, you would like to in drilling department, and why is that? What I need if I imagine myself working in process department. So, do I need to learn about specific software? Is this the process of working in that? It's like building a small, tiny things in your CV. So I okay, I joined this company for internship for 1 year, and that in that what in 1 year I realized everything. I have this and that. I develop myself and have practicing this and that. So it will help you a lot when you're getting the real dream job. Okay, let's move on. Please, will there be a certificate? Okay. How do student engineer, especially in well drilling, acquire internship? I don't know. So you have to, I don't know from which country you are, so you have to apply. And is there a program for internship for new junior engineers? For junior engineers, I mean. So I've seen a lot of companies offering like these things for junior engineers. May I ask Akido about, okay, water flooding? No. Uh, what about restarting oil wells? Okay, this is another question, not related to our system. Okay. Why, Lionel, why are PE mostly oriented in production than reservoir and drilling? Oh, this is very interesting question. Reservoir and drilling more complicated and complex rather than production, I will say. In reservoir, it's need upgrade your skill. So you are dealing with complex thoughts and ideas about your reservoir, and you are dealing more with a specialized software. So if you don't have like these skills, so you cannot be more to the reservoir and drilling. This is one, and the another thing, it's and you if you take any wrong decision in term of reservoir and in drilling operation, they will cost a lot of money for the company. So they will start put you from the start because you are in a production phase. So you can think about the both ways, and in terms of reservoir, in terms of drilling, what will happen, and how you can manage that for your performance of the wells in terms of production. So I will imagine every company they have their own policy how where the junior engineers they put, but I will imagine that if I'm in the top of the management when if I have decision to put you in the program. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad.
I think this is the all questions.
Yes, yes. On behalf of the public, I have a question, Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
Uh, Based on your extensive experience in the oil and gas industry, would you prefer that petroleum engineering graduates be directed firstly to the drilling rig sector and then after a certain period of time decide to move to another specialization or maybe stay to work in the drilling field?
So what I've seen before, and most of the cases, And most of the companies, successful companies, they follow a certain program. They take the junior engineers and put them in every sector, let's say for 3 to 6, maybe more than to it's till three years. So in different locations, different roles and responsibilities. So they build a wide perspective of what's the oil and gas industry and what is the challenges, how they can communicate, how they can build the network. Because when you just join the company, you don't know, for instance, if I'm a reservoir engineer and in reservoir department, so I don't know my colleague in production department. I don't know my colleague in drilling department. So when I have a successful a certain track of training for the junior engineers, I will put them in everywhere. So for instance, 1 month in reservoir, 1 month in drilling, 1 month, and it depends how long it will take to build that knowledge about each department. So through that, I will gain a knowledge and gain and build a network. So it's very effective program if you follow for if you have been lucky enough and being in that program.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad, I think we have the last question from
Is that
Lionel.
answering your question, doctor?
I think maybe we can change the question. How many years the petroleum engineer graduates need to know which direction will be selected for him or herself in order to stay in that in the right direction? I mean, after 2 years, 4 years, 5 years will decide to stay in the drilling rigs or go to the reservoir department or production department.
Maybe I misunderstand your question so effectively. So you mean for himself, if I'm a new graduate engineer, for how long it will take to understand the place, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's I will say it's from 2 to 3 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question from Lionel. How long does it take to move from junior to senior petroleum engineer?
4 to 5 years.
Okay.
It
Uh,
depends on you and how you build your skills.
yes. Okay, that's great, great, Mr. Muhammad. Dear attendees, at the end of today's webinar on petroleum engineers' roles and responsibilities, we would like to extend our sincere thanks for your participation. It was our pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of welcoming you to future events organized by Enkido Training. A special thank you to Mr. Mohammed Al-Jawhar for his valuable presentation. Your contribution is appreciated by Enkido training team. Have a nice time and goodbye.
Goodbye, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you.